Patriots Nation, tonight we've got something big going down in Foxborough. And it's not just about numbers, it's about respect. There's a quiet shift in the offense, a heavy rumor circling the pass rush, a rookie wideout knocking on the door, and a future-defining decision involving one of the best young corners in football. All of it connected, all of it sending one clear message to the AFC. New England is not here to play cute, they're here to take their seat back at the table. You're not going to want to miss this, so lock in, drop a like, and ride with me. Take a breath, because the story with Henderson is not as simple as rookie shows up and saves everything. On paper, he was built to ignite this offense. High second-round pick, elite burst, a house call kickoff touchdown on his first NFL touch, and a preseason with 7.1 yards per carry that made everyone believe the breakout was only a matter of time. But the league doesn't hand out shortcuts. His pass protection became a real concern, and when you give up pressure on your franchise quarterback, your role shrinks fast. That's exactly what happened. Snap by snap, his usage dipped, and the initial hype started to sound more like frustration inside and outside the building. But just when it felt like the narrative might tilt toward disappointment, something flipped over the last 2 weeks. Against Cleveland and Atlanta, Henderson finally looked like the guy the Patriots drafted him to be. 24 carries, 130 yards, 5.4 yards per attempt. That's production, not preseason illusion. And it didn't happen by accident. The offensive staff adjusted to his strengths, stopped jamming him mindlessly up the middle on every early down, and started getting him on the edge with tosses and designed outside runs. When you let a back with his explosiveness attack space instead of traffic, good things happen. The tape shows it: better vision, more urgency, sharper cuts, more confident footwork in tight lanes. Even between the tackles, where he struggled badly early on, the growth is obvious. With improved blocking angles and Henderson trusting his reads instead of hesitating, those runs have gone from dead possessions to efficient setups. Advanced metrics that were screaming red flags have shifted in his favor, matching what your eyes are finally seeing. Fewer wasted steps, stronger contact balance, and a back who finishes runs instead of absorbing them. He's also becoming a real outlet in the passing game, showing up on checkdowns and flats to bail out pressure and keep Drake May in rhythm. That's how a young back earns trust in this system, by turning tough downs into manageable ones and proving he belongs on the field when it matters. Now, the key is consistency. One good stretch doesn't crown anyone in New England, but if Ramondre Stevenson is limited and Henderson gets another heavy workload against Tampa Bay, this is his chance to lock in a bigger slice of the backfield permanently. Stick with the perimeter concepts, keep punishing soft boxes, protect your quarterback with grown man reps in pass pro, and suddenly he's not just a flashy rookie, he's a core piece of the November and December plan. And the crazy part, this is only the first storyline shaking up Foxborough tonight. While everyone's still reacting to Henderson's resurgence, there's a different kind of noise building around the defense, and it has the fan base wired. Shaquille Barrett's name has crashed into the Patriots rumor mill, and it fits just a little too well to ignore. Two-time Super Bowl champion, former sack leader, still a technically sharp veteran with juice left in his get-off, and free at the exact moment New England's edge rotation looks one piece away from being terrifying. That is not random. That is the exact type of low-noise, high-impact opportunity this front office has made a living on for years, and everyone who truly follows this team knows it. Barrett doesn't need to be the 19.5 sack monster from 2019 to tilt games in New England. Here, the path is clear. Come in as a designated closer on passing downs, win isolated matchups, force offenses to slide protection his way, and let the rest of this defense hunt freely. Right now, the Patriots have a physical, disciplined, versatile unit, but they're flirting with blitz rates that don't match their DNA. Bring in a veteran edge with Barrett's resume, and suddenly you don't need to manufacture pressure, you just unleash it. That's the difference between a strong defense and a playoff defense that ruins seasons and ruins quarterbacks' confidence. Financially, the fit might be even better. The expectation around the league is that Barrett is open to a short-term, incentive-based deal. Snaps, sacks, playoffs, production. That's textbook Patriot way. For him, it's a chance to prove he still belongs in the contender conversation. For New England, it's a controlled risk, high-ceiling swing with zero need for dramatic headlines. The kind of move that shows the locker room, we believe in this group enough to double down right now, with no theatrics, no unnecessary noise. And don't underestimate the off-field value. Barrett brings championship habits, veteran professionalism, and the mindset of a guy who's made huge plays in huge moments. Drop that into a room with ascending talent and a secondary led by Gonzalez, and the standard rises fast. No official visit announced yet, no contract on the table, at least not publicly, but the alignment is obvious: needy contender, premium position, proven closer still on the market. If this thing heats up, we might look back at it as the quiet turning point that sealed this defense as one of the scariest in the AFC. And believe me, that's not even the storyline that has this fan base the most divided. While the spotlight keeps drifting to veteran stars and big-name rumors, there's a quieter battle unfolding that could reshape the wide receiver room. Kyle Williams, the third-round rookie, has barely scratched the stat sheet so far. 2 catches, 20 yards, just over 20% of the offensive snaps. On paper, it looks underwhelming. But context matters, and the coaches are not sounding any alarms. They're seeing progress in the details. With Keyshawn Boots sidelined in practice this week, Williams might finally be staring at the window he's been grinding for since rookie camp. Offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels has praised his work ethic and mental approach, pointing out how Williams has learned multiple spots in the formation and stayed locked in even without the ball finding him. Head coach Mike Vrabel has echoed that, highlighting his consistency and reliability on the outside. Those aren't empty compliments. In New England, coaches don't pump rookies publicly unless they believe the foundation is there. And in his extended snaps against Atlanta, you could see real flashes, cleaner releases, sharp route stems, separation against quality coverage, and no panic against physical press. On that deep shot against A.J. Terrell, the box score will tell you it was just an incompletion. But the film says something different. Williams won early, stacked his man, and gave his quarterback a window. Drake May owned that miss in the postgame, saying he owed his receiver a better ball. That's chemistry in progress, not a quarterback covering for a rookie. That's a signal. When your quarterback talks like that about you, it means you're doing the right things where it counts. In the meeting room, on the practice field, in the small details that earn trust on Sundays. The fan base, of course, is split. Some want Williams thrown fully into the fire. Others prefer the slow, methodical New England way. But here's the twist. In a room where veterans are producing and roles are defined, a guy like Williams can be the unexpected piece that changes the math. 1 or 2 timely plays, one game where he steps in for an injured starter and delivers, and suddenly he's not just a developmental name, he's part of the weekly plan. If that shift really starts in Tampa Bay, we might be watching the beginning of another classic Foxborough storyline. Overlooked rookie, quiet grind, breakout at the perfect time with the whole league watching. Now, while we're talking about impact players and long-term plans, there's one name operating on a completely different level. Already a star, already a pillar, and about to force the front office into a historic decision. Christian Gonzalez has become the living definition of what this new Patriots defense wants to be. Calm, ruthless, technically sharp, and absolutely unapologetic against number 1 receivers. After an early injury scare in his career, he's come back not just healthy, but better. Since his return this season, the Patriots have ripped off 6 straight wins, and it's not a coincidence. You can feel his impact in every coverage shell. Quarterbacks look his way, hesitate, and move on. Coordinators have to cross whole sections of the field off the call sheet because Gonzalez is parked there. Now comes the headline beneath the surface. Projections have Gonzalez lined up for a monster extension, 4 years, around $140 million, putting him at the very top of the cornerback market, highest paid at his position. That number is going to spark debate, but here's the reality. If you have a 23-year-old all-pro caliber corner who travels, tackles, erases deep shots, and lets you play aggressive everywhere else, you pay him. Because players like that don't just cover receivers. They let you build an entire identity around them and send a message to the rest of the locker room about what is valued. It's also a clear sign of how the Patriot way has evolved. This isn't about handing out emotional deals. It's about recognizing exactly who tilts the field. Social media is already flooded with fans calling Gonzalez the next great shutdown corner in franchise history, some even arguing he's ahead of schedule compared to names from past eras. And when you turn on the tape, it backs them up. Elite hips, ball skills, patience, physicality without panic. He makes throws look bad. He makes quarterbacks look late. He makes offenses play left-handed and admit they'd rather test someone else. The front office doesn't need to rush. They still control his rights and can time this move. But every snap he takes at this level makes the decision more obvious and more expensive. For now, though, the focus stays on the field. Keep this win streak alive, lock in for Tampa Bay, and let Gonzalez continue to anchor a defense that's starting to look like a problem for the entire conference. You can feel it in the way this group swarms, communicates, and celebrates. There's a standard forming again in Foxborough. So, step back for a second and look at the full picture. A rookie running back figuring it out at the perfect moment, a potential veteran closer circling as a surgical addition, a young receiver knocking on the door of relevance, and a franchise corner on the verge of resetting the market. This is not a lost franchise wandering through a rebuild. This is a roster quietly stacking answers and testing who's ready to live up to the logo on the helmet. And now it's on you. Do you believe this group, as constructed and with one or two smart moves, is ready to crash the AFC party again? Or are they still one bold decision away? Drop your take in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, share this with that one friend who still doubts the Patriot way, and stay locked in, because this ride is just getting started and you're not going to want to say you missed the moment it all flipped.